We have a segment here on Only Comics called Newsflash, buddy. And the reason we call it that is, you'll understand this because you're my complexion here. Our people sometimes, right, when they're being challenged or when they're upset and, they're about to lay down some news, they're going to let you know. They say a little phrase, and it goes like this. They go, "Newsflash, buddy." You've probably heard someone
Buster.
say that. Yeah, Buster. Yep, that's another good. There you go. Yeah. Dude, Buster could be like Buster of the week.
I like that. I like that
too.
Hey,
so who's going to be our Buster this week? So it's kind of like, some radio shows have Donkey of the Week, stuff like that. So we go through the, comic news. A few articles here, and we'll go through them, and we get to pick who our Buster is this week.
Okay,
but we use that because that's what they say. You've heard that before.
Oh yeah. And Let me tell you something, buddy.
Yeah, that too, buddy, pal. All those things. So, up first this week in our news segment, Tim Burton has made some interesting comments about WB and DC movies. So, you've not seen The Flash.
I have not.
That's a good thing, right?
Yeah, right. It's probably a good thing. Even though at this point, kind of sick of the Flash.
Yeah, right.
I'm kind of sick. But anyway, we'll get into it.
Yeah.
Well, sounds like Tim Burton is as well.
Right.
So Tim Burton. Now, I'm a big fan of Batman '89. Batman Returns is one of my favorite movies. Right. Adrian, what about you? I know you lean more towards the Bale.
Yeah, no, I got a pun later on about Tim Burton's Batman, but no, I'm definitely Christian Bale Batman. I wasn't fond of the Tim Burtons or definitely the Michael Keaton thing, so I'm good with all that.
What about you, Chris?
Actually, I'd rather go back to Adam West than to go to
really?
Tim Burton.
Okay, Adam
I am
West.
good, dude.
I like Burton's Batman.
Yeah.
I will say Bale's my favorite. The older I get, the more those movies, like as a set, have aged super well.
Right.
But Burton's Batman has a place in my heart as like the perfect, like, I don't want to say cartoony, but the fun Batman.
Yeah.
From that time period.
It's a little out there.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. And it was kind of like your introduction, or at least for me it was. It was kind of like my first Batman movie and everything. And I was like, it was so I like the universe, I would say, that he built around it.
Right. So you would probably not like the portrayal in The Flash because it doesn't feel like that universe.
No, well, I don't even want to go. I'm going to give our guest the opportunity to talk about it because, dude, I'm just so done with that.
So now Tim Burton is upset. Well, he made some comments in a recent interview, and he didn't call out The Flash specifically, but what he said, actually I'll read it. He said this to the British Film Institute. When you work on, he's talking about the Superman movie. So Superman Lives was a movie he was working on with Nick Cage as Superman.
Yeah.
Which, who knows how it would have turned. I mean, I don't know. To your point of the whole universe, I think Tim Burton would have done a good job of giving us like a really cool version of Superman.
Yeah.
But have you ever seen the photos of Nick in this?
I have.
Okay, yeah.
I have. Yeah. So I do have that frame of reference.
Yeah.
I can see where he's going with it.
Yeah, so I mean that I didn't care for where I thought he was going with it. I mean, and Adrian, we got to see this at the end of The Flash. There's a little CGI cameo with the Nick Cage Superman.
Okay.
Which is
all right.
Adrian, is that your favorite part of the film?
No, there's no favorite part of this film for me.
When it was over.
Yeah, except the fact that it's over. The closing credits, which I got up and walked out of, that was my favorite part of the movie.
Yep, absolutely. So, well, anyways, they were asking Tim Burton about this movie. He says, when you work on when you work that long on a project and it doesn't happen, it affects you for the rest of your life because you get passionate about things, and each thing is an unknown journey. And Superman Lives wasn't there yet, but it's one of those experiences that never leaves you a little bit. But then he goes on, but also it goes into another AI thing, and this is why I'm over it with the studio. They can take what you did, Batman or whatever, and culturally misappropriate it to whatever you call it, even though you're a slave of Disney or Warner Brothers, they can do whatever they want. So in my latter years, I'm in quiet revolt against all of this.
Wow.
Yeah.
I read that. I was like, good for you, Tim Burton.
Right.
Good for you, man, because they do that kind of stuff. I mean, you have this idea, they hire you to do this thing, and then they just kind of take over and just run over you.
Right.
It's like I've always coined this phrase, right? My idea isn't a good idea until it's your idea.
Yeah. Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So somebody comes in and they take over the things that you've developed, you've created, and you start this momentum, and then someone snatches away from you.
Yeah.
So good for him for talking out.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was one of my points with I haven't seen The Flash, but I knew they were putting Michael Keaton back in it, and I didn't want that because that movie exists. Batman '89 exists for me in like a certain spot,
right,
in a certain place. That character exists here, and I don't want to revisit that because I don't want that memory to change.
Yeah,
you know?
Right. Besides the fact that he's too old to be doing what he was doing.
And
Chris, that's always been one of my things about all this stuff. You know, we have so many new up and coming actors and actresses. You know, give them a shot.
Yeah.
If you keep resurrecting these demons from the past, you know, these kids will never get, you know, the spotlight and stuff. You know, and some of these people, they come out and they own this stuff, but now because comics is like the new thing, you know, all these old, you know, crypt keepers want to come in and take over the spotlight, and I think it's unfair.
Yeah.
Right. And I get it. I mean, you're an artist, Chris. Imagine your take on it, because I get it. Tim Burton didn't create Batman. But that Michael Keaton Batman is his take on Batman.
Yeah, yeah.
And he had his 2 films, and then he got pushed out over some bullshit, you know, because the McDonald's, you know, Happy Meals were too dark for the kids. So then they brought in Joel Schumacher and screwed everything up.
Yeah.
So we never got to see, you know, Tim Burton's trilogy of Batman movies. But that was his take on it, and to see that, you know, his version just kind of plucked out of like I agree with you where that Batman lives in a whole other universe for me.
Yeah.
Like that gothic.
Right.
Like I love his take on Gotham.
Yeah.
You know, it would be cool to see what he would have done with the technology we have today.
Right, yeah.
Because it was limited, you know?
I mean, imagine like the most recent Batman movie, that Gotham City.
Oh, my God.
In juxtaposition with Tim Burton's Batman.
Yeah.
You know, those are 2 very different worlds.
Right.
But they both exist in my head in that place.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't like 1989 Batman being ripped out of continuity and then thrown into now.
Right.
It's like, well, it feels weird.
It does.
It feels weird. And it does feel like, especially when you've worked on a project for so long, you probably has good memories of that and everything.
Right.
To see that manipulated in a way, I can totally understand his frustration with that.
Yep. So I'm Team Tim Burton here, dude.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, next up, Aquaman 2. This is a movie that now, did you see the recent trailer?
I did.
Yeah.
I did. I'm afraid for the movie coming out. I know the first one did what I was surprised. I mean, I knew it did well.
Right?
Right. It was $1.15 billion.
So remind me. So Aquaman, the new movie, right?
Yep.
So is this still in the continuity of like Ben Affleck's Batman?
Yes.
It still exists in that.
It's the last movie of that cinematic universe.
Right, because they're already switching over.
They're already switching over.
So what's the point? Wait, so I thought the Flash was going to be the end of that.
No, I think Flash is the beginning of the new thing.
The beginning of the new one, but we're already okay.
So it's a lot. It's a lot to take in.
Yeah.
It's confusing, which is why I think DC is doing kind of a shitty job of this. It's too much. So you go between the end of the first and the beginning of the next, and then you got the multiverse kind of a thing going on. Then you got these, like you said, the '89 Batman, the 2003 Batman, and this freak of Flash that we got going on. So it's just a lot, and they're just kind of muddying the waters all around.
Yeah, it's so confusing for like a casual audience member.
Exactly.
I think I've said it before. Like, imagine trying to go with your dad and explain who all these characters, why there's 3 Batmen in this one movie, right? And he's supposed to be a casual audience member and just go in and understand everything,
right? Yeah. And forget about the TV version versus the movie version versus the animated version. I mean, that's a whole nother different kind of confusion. But
now, I've never seen Aquaman, the first one.
No?
No, which I actually do want to watch it now. But after this last trailer, I'm like, this looks like a pretty good movie.
Yeah. Yeah, but I'm afraid, having seen the first movie because it did so well.
Yeah.
And I'm already seeing that button on the comic thing going on. I'm watching this trailer and I'm thinking, this is probably the best parts of the movie.
Yeah.
And that the movie itself is probably going to not be as entertaining.
Oh, my God.
I hope I'm wrong, though.
Editors for comic book movies, like whoever they hire for their trailers is insane. Like, I don't know if it's one guy, if it's multiple guys, but
it's probably the same guy.
Whoever they have working on trailers for all of them across the board is doing a great job because everyone feels so immense.
Yeah.
So powerful.
Right.
No matter what the characters, even Aquaman.
Right. And then when you get there, though, then the movie sucks. Or like you said, it's like they showed you all the best parts.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the old Fast and Furious recipe, right?
Right.
Give the whole movie away in the trailer, and then go watch it like, wait a minute, like, what else?
Yeah.
We already saw all this.
Right. Well, we missed them eating breakfast.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, what's going on?
Or you could do the James Gunn effect where you just slow it all down in the movie. It's like, we take this 2.5.
Slow-mo.
Yeah, the whole movie's going to be slow-mo. It's like, dude, what's the difference between Snyder Cut and the regular cut? One's just really slow.
Right. We spent 15 minutes on watching the valve of the tire spin from from 12 o'clock to 6 o'clock.
But so Aquaman, why is it in the news? So Aquaman 2's director, who, speaking of Fast and Furious, James Wan, I think he directed the 7th one, maybe 8th, but anyways, he's also known horror director, James Wan. He's directing Aquaman Lost Kingdom for some reason. And he broke his silence on the question that everyone has, I guess, is will Batman be in this movie too? Why not? Like, just put Batman in everything, right?
Just throw him in there.
At this point,
you want to sell tickets? Batman's going in the movie.
Exactly.
I mean, shit, Marvel, throw him in the Marvels if you want. Why not? Just Batman everywhere. I mean, it was Batman Day this past weekend.
Yeah,
so.
Right. Oh, there's that.
Batman Day.
Yeah, happy late Batman Day to all our viewers out there. Now, so what he said about this was, number one, he said the tricky thing early on was not knowing whether Aquaman would come out first or after The Flash. So there you go.
Yeah, that's tricky. We don't know about this one.
Right.
Let's just try it.
Right.
It'll come out at some point. But to your point of being confused, I mean, the directors are confused. Yeah. Imagine that. Me, you, and Adrian are all working on one movie or one story for the same overarching story, but I don't know when Adrian's is coming out. You don't know when yours is coming out.
Right,
We're just guessing,
Let's just throw it out there. See what happens.
At some point, it'll hit the theaters. So I guess that caused some. It was tricky for the director. And then they just straight up asked him, will Batman show up in the sequel? And he replied, that's a no comment right now. You're going to have to wait for the movie to come out. You might as well just say yes, then, right? Like, is a no comment... Adrian, you think Batman will be in this Aquaman movie? Does a no comment confirm it for you?
I'm not sure, but the no comment means to me, I'm going to get as much marketing out of this as I can. I'm going to use, the big name, Batman.
Right.
And then you show up to the movie, and then there's no Batman.
True. Yeah, that's the other piece, right? Because, you saying no comment does make me think he's going to be there, but if he's not,
I don't know. You'll have to watch and find out.
Yeah.
There's a reason I didn't see Aquaman, because it didn't have Batman. So if you tell me he's going to be in there, all right. That kind of does change the game a little bit, but I just don't like that marketing show. You'll have to watch to find out.
Right.
All right.
What is Batman going to do? Release a new set of tech?
Yeah.
The Atlantis Batmobile.
I don't want to see Batman snorkeling.
Exactly.
I don't need to see that.
Well, so let's hope he's not in there. But, I mean, after this last trailer, it's a little intriguing. It does make me think that, they could have done something with this movie, but it's the last movie of a dying story.
Yeah.
So why do I even need to go see it?
I'm just, based on what I've seen, obviously Jason Momoa didn't follow Hugh Jackman's workout routine. He's far cry away from his Stargate Atlantis days.
Yeah.
So and he's just trying to be funny.
Yeah.
Half the promo is just him trying to be funny and laughing, and I don't want to see it. At this point, I think I'm talking myself out of even going to see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, there's no point. There's no point. If you just want a nice little standalone film, sure. But I mean, we are now so invested in these cinematic universes. It's almost like I don't want to see it if it doesn't tie to something else.
Right. Yeah.
And I think that's where a lot of the fan base. Yeah.
Why?
Well, it's not even about tying to something else for me. I'm okay with having movies that can stand on their own.
Yeah.
But also have a tie-in. But
Yeah.
the tie-in isn't a necessity for me. I just want a good story.
Yeah.
And that's just what they failed to do over like the last 5 years or so for me.
Yeah.
How funny would it be if they left it on a cliffhanger? They're like, you guess how this ends.
Right.
Yeah.
They have it like over a ledge or something. There's like
We just never get to see it.
Sequel. Yeah.
Well, I mean, we probably won't be seeing this movie, so I don't think we'll review this one here. I mean, we'll see.
So you're just going to miss Aquaman altogether.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments how it is.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Let us know if it's even worth checking out. And then the article that I read teased a little, what Batman would show up, right? And they said based off of the Flash movie, it would be the damn George Clooney Batman.
Oh my God!
So the less we see of that Batman, the better.
I just hope they don't keep regurgitating these shows the way they're doing with the Flash. It's like they're trying so hard to make up for how poorly the Flash was executed.
Yeah,
it's like, why are we still talking about the Flash today?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that should have been like a 30-second conversation and we move on.
Right.
Yet we keep coming back to this stuff, and it's a horrible situation to be in, and I just hope they don't keep doing this with every movie that they come out with. I made a shitty movie because I'm a shitty director, but so let's talk about it for the next 3 years.
Yes.
But you're not even allowed to have that conversation anymore, where it's like the movie is bad because of the director.
Right.
Now it's a conversation of the movie is bad. Well, there must have been studio involvement.
Yep.
Right.
They must have ruined his vision.
Mm-hmm.
No, maybe his original vision was just bad.
Right.
Right.
Maybe it was just written poorly.
Right.
You
Or
know?
worse, it's your fault. It's our fault, the viewers.
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
people.
Oh, yeah. I love that one. You didn't
You know?
understand it. Like, no, I understand that it sucked.
Right. Yeah. It's too sophisticated for
Yeah.
feeble minds to understand. It's like,
Right.
You know.
Or the best one was the Flash's. The CGI was supposed to look bad. Huh?
I made it bad, ironically.
Yeah. Like, not bad, but it was supposed to look like that because that's how it would look from the Flash. Like, okay.
I was just pretending to be stupid.
Yeah. All right. Next up, Carl Urban. There's a rumor that Carl Urban will play a Wolverine variant in Deadpool 3. So Carl Urban plays. You seen The Boys, Chris?
I have not.
You've
no.
not.
I've
You
seen
have,
clips.
Adrian.
I have.
He plays Billy the Butcher.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Love.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
love
Yep.
his portrayal, and I've read some of their comic, and it's a very good portrayal. He also plays Scourge in the Thor movies,
Yep.
which I think
Yep.
is actually that comedy's done well. To do with the two AK-47s,
Right.
And, it's in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah.
So there's a rumor that he's going to show up as a Wolverine variant because this Deadpool 3 movie, rumor is they're going on like a multiverse road trip, Deadpool and Wolverine. And now it's coming out as they're saying Deadpool's looking for the perfect Wolverine. And then he's going to rule out these other ones and determine that Hugh Jackman's the perfect Wolverine.
Okay.
So, I mean, I think with Ryan Reynolds, with the Deadpool character, they can pull this off. Like, that's a movie, Adrian, you talk about the comic relief button a lot. I'm not worried about it with them.
Right.
Because
Yeah, because you know what you're getting into.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. Yeah.
and we've seen it done well twice.
Yeah.
Right.
You can argue which Deadpool movie's better, but you could both. They were done well twice,
Okay.
so I think they can manage.
And
it.
you have fun. It's one of those ones. You just relax and watch Deadpool.
Right.
Yeah.
You're not expecting like an end game kind of
Exactly.
story or whatever. It's just fun.
Yep.
They do what they do well.
Yes, 100%. Now, Carl Urban. Now, you actually mentioned, Adrian, another actor from The Boys that you'd want to see casted as Wolverine. That was Anthony Starr.
Right.
Now, Carl Urban's been a fan cast. It's kind of like the guy who played Mr. Fantastic in Multiverse of Madness, John Krasinski. I believe his name is. He was fan casted for so long, so they kind of threw him in there for the one-off, and he was killed by Scarlet Witch in 14 seconds.
Right.
So I'm assuming this is probably going to be like that, where it's just like a one-off, few seconds. But I think it'd be cool to see him as Wolverine. He has that look,
Yeah, I could be convinced.
Yeah.
He's never in anything bad. I've never seen him in anything, and it's never been bad because
Right.
of him. And I could definitely see him correlating to that character well.
Yeah.
So, and I actually like that premise for the movie.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I could see them doing that in a fun way, especially with the current Deadpool, Ryan Reynolds.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I like that premise too. I think it's almost like you're casting for the next Wolverine on screen and off.
Yeah.
I don't think I wouldn't mind seeing a Carl Urban as a one-off kind of like a multiverse thing, but definitely not as a Hugh Jackman replacement. He checks all my boxes. Well, my first one.
Yeah.
He's too old.
Yeah.
He's Hugh Jackman's age, 4 years or so apart. He's not cut in any kind of way to play the role. And he's too tall. So I'm not. I'm
You want to
actually
see that shorter Wolverine on screen?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I do too.
I mean, I want to see it doesn't have to be true to the comic book.
Yeah, you don't need
but
to
at
be
least
5'3".
at least similar, right? Not no 6'2" guy.
Right.
Who's the short Scientologist? Remind me.
Tom Cruise?
Yeah.
Our boy Tommy.
Yeah. Imagine him as Wolverine.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do it, let's
no.
do
He
it.
was a short Scientologist.
Not at all.
I
Not
can't
at
believe I
all.
forgot Tom Cruise.
Yeah, you can't forget Tom Cruise on Only Comics, dude. He's like a co-host. On
Yeah.
Right.
But he gets mentioned more than anyone in comics.
He's a fun actor though, so
yeah.
He is, but he has his genre, and comics is not.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I don't want him near
Right.
comics.
No.
So.
Yeah.
And the best was, speak of the Flash again, Adrian, their marketing plan was let Tom Cruise watch the movie, get his feedback on it, and then put that out. Because comic fans are obviously going to gravitate to whatever Tom Cruise says to do.
Yeah.
That worked out well.
So, Chris, we talk so much about Tom Cruise, right? We came up with a new phrase. Tom Cruisery, like tomfoolery.
Yes.
Mike, if you can explain to Chris what Tom Cruisery is.
Yes, Tom Cruisery is exactly what I just said. It's when you use Tom Cruise as your marketing tool. When you send something to Tom Cruise and go, dude, tell us what you think, Tom Cruise. Yeah. That's Tom Cruisery.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that is an actual, I don't know how well it's done, but it is a marketing a marketing plan that some of these studios
Here's
have
the
had.
problem. He's such a charismatic guy. So like it works. I get it, but
but when he comes in and says Flash is the best movie ever, I mean,
did he say that?
He did say that.
Yeah. I have not seen that. Yeah. Really?
Yeah. Yep. Supposedly he reviewed the movie, gave his thumbs up. Yep. I'm like, what the hell is this guy even watching this stuff for? Yep. But whatever.
Hey. Well, speaking of tomfoolery, the Marvel's next movie to hit the theaters is The Marvels. Okay, this movie, this is a body swap comedy. Is kind of
I remember the trailer.
Yeah. This I'm not sure about this one. It's hard because Marvel's in this spot now where outside of Guardians 3, they've not really had anything that did well or even was received well in a while.
Right.
I mean, No Way Home, Guardians 3. For the MCU, I mean, Across the Spider-Verse, but that's not connected, so that they can't count that. That's Sony's deal. So the Marvels is their next, their next swing, their next at bat, and I don't know. I mean, it seems like a decent concept, but the couple things that I don't think are helping this movie or going to help is number one, the runtime's really short. I think it's like an hour and a half.
Right.
No way, really.
3 main characters, a whole new villain, some type of Kree, either war or peace settlement. Nick Fury's back at all this stuff is going to happen in an hour and 30, 40 minutes. I don't think so.
Yeah. Even from the trailer, I can be sold on so bad it's good.
Yeah,
I'll go see something if I think it's terrible, if I'll have a good time, but it just looks bad, boring.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It's like the more I see the previews, the less I want to watch it.
Yeah.
And Brie Larson, I mean, she looks like she's trying to take a shit to be into that Captain Marvel persona. It's just I'm not feeling it, dude.
No.
It's like the more I see the previews, just stop doing the previews.
Yeah, because after the first one, I was ready to go see it.
Right.
I was like, it seems cool.
Right.
And then now this IMAX preview one, it's like, dude, I don't know, man.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, hey, it'd be short movie, so I guess you can watch it, in between like shopping or something.
Right.
Look, the best body swap thing was Lindsay Lohan back in the early 2000s, Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
Right.
All right, you can't just reskin that as a Marvel movie, all right? It's been done before.
Right. Or, I mean, this isn't really a body swap, but Face Off was, speaking of your boy Nick Cage.
Right.
That was a good one, too.
Yeah, that was a pretty good show.
They should do that here. They cut each other's faces. I mean, that'd be a little too graphic for Marvel. But, yeah, this one, I saw and then this whole, push to go watch it in IMAX. All right, here's the thing about IMAX. There's one good or maybe 4 good seats in IMAX. Yeah. It's in the dead center of the theater.
Right.
If you sit too close, screen's too big. The screen is massive.
Right.
And to the point where it's almost too big unless you'd be all the way in the back, and the middle is probably the best seat in IMAX.
Right.
So, I don't run out. I watch these movies at a regular theater. I don't run out to IMAX.
No,
you guys ever?
I've never sat.
You've never seen one in IMAX?
No. Is it like life-changing?
No.
Does it like change my worldview?
Nope. Maybe this will be a hot take, Adrian, but no, IMAX is not life-changing. Yeah. In fact, it actually makes you dizzy because you're trying to find parts of the screen because it's way too big.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I've gone to the one in Providence. And the sound is a little bit more crisper. Mm-hmm. It's almost like am I listening to Blu-ray or high definition DVD kind of thing? Yeah. It's definitely not. I'm going from VHS to DVD. Right. It's nothing like that. So save your money. Yeah. Save your gas. Don't try to find an IMAX theater. Just watch it in standard.
It sounds like when when you're a kid and you get late to the movies, right? Mm-hmm. Your friends running late, and so you have to go in one of those front rows.
Yes.
It's
exactly what it's like.
Straight up.
Yep.
Right.
So it's like that, Chris, except 80% of the theater is like that.
Oh, that sounds fun.
It's like, the screen's so big. It's like the Pimp My Ride syndrome, right? You like a big screen, Chris? You like an 80-inch screen. I'm going to give you an 800-inch screen. Matter of fact, I'm going to put it right in your living room. Yeah. Right. And you're like, dude, I can't see Batman anymore. I just see this building in Gotham. I don't even know where he is. And and then you're getting dizzy and nauseous. And,
dude, regular movie theaters are fine.
Yeah.
It's just like that's enough. Why would you want even more people? Even more
exactly.
noise, I'm good.
So no. All right. Now who's our buster this week, Adrian? We gotta give it to WB again.
Yeah, let's do WB again. It's like it's just getting ridiculous, dude.
Yep. WB for what you guys actually they didn't even really do anything again. It's just the fact that Tim Burton is now upset about it. So
right.
Yeah, it's like they didn't even do anything. Like they did this like months ago.
He's chastised. And another thing.
Yeah.
Before you leave the room in an argument.
Yep. Right. Yep. So there you go. WB. I think this is like 2 or 3 weeks in a row that they've been our now freshly coined buster.
WB. Hey, Buster, you've upset Tim Burton. You've gone too far.
That's it.
You've crossed the line.
Yeah.